One day, all of the mini diesel engines gathered for a meeting to try to determine who was the strongest engine of all the Trackmaster engines who had competed in hundreds of competitions. Some thought it might be Freddy. Some thought it might be Mavis. And others even thought Rusty was the strongest engine.
Wait. What about Belle? I think she's the strongest.
Belle certainly had an excellent track record, and they took a vote and all agreed that no one was stronger than Belle. But over on the other side of the track, the Mini Thomas engines heard this discussion, and they had their own opinion.
How could you guys forget about Boco? He's one of your diesel engines, and no one can beat him. The guy's a tank. He's unstoppable. Boco's good, but Belle's still better. You guys are wrong, and we're gonna prove it to you. Meet us tomorrow at the track, and we'll settle this thing once and for all.
And so the next day, the Minis gathered with their engines so that they could finally determine who is stronger, Boco or Belle. This was clearly going to be quite the battle. Belle took the early lead, but in a World's Strongest Engine competition, anything can happen, and you don't know who the winner is until an engine falls off the track. Belle had pushed Boco all the way to the far end of the track, but she couldn't quite seem to be able to push him over the edge. It was already the longest of any World's Strongest Engine competition ever. Boco found himself at the far end of the track, but he just refused to give up. Belle kept fighting and fighting and fighting until finally she knocked him over the edge.
Oh no! Ha! We called that one! You're right, we sure did! That doesn't prove anything. Did you see how close that was? Let's do a rematch. Okay, rematch time!
And so they gathered back Boco and Belle for a rematch. This time, Boco took the early lead.
Okay, we'll have to prove this another way then. Belle is so strong that she could knock over one of your Thomas engines without her top half even being on. And just to make it interesting, let's put a Thomas Mini and a Diesel Mini at the end of the track, and the one on the losing side will fall into a mud pit. Okay, sounds good to us. Game on.
And so Belle's top half was removed, and Santa Thomas Mini was placed at one end of the track, and Charleston Choo Diesel at the other. The Mud Pit Challenge was set to begin with Thomas versus Belle's bottom half. Down went Santa Thomas right into the mud.
Ho, ho, ho! Nothing wrong with a little mud bath.
But he never expected that someone wanted to come over and sit on Santa's lap. Or perhaps more like crawl on Santa.
Okay now. I think it's best you leave Santa alone. You don't want to end up on the naughty list, do you?
Boco doesn't need his top half to win either. He could totally beat Belle if they both had their tops off. Alright, fine. Same minis at the end of the track. Losing mini falls into a bucket of ice water.
And so the minis agreed to the new competition, and Boco's top half was removed for the Ice Bucket Challenge. Down went Charleston Choo Diesel into the icy cold water.
It's so cold in here. Help, get me out.
Well, at least he knew how to swim.
Alright, let's settle this Boco and Belle thing once and for all. We're gonna line up 7 Thomas minis, 7 Diesel minis, put them at the end of the track, bring back the mud pit, and whoever's wrong is gonna end up in the mud. That works for us. I hope you like the mud.
So 7 Thomas minis were placed at one end of the track behind Boco's bottom half, and behind Belle's bottom half were 7 Diesel mini engines for the Mega Mud Pit Challenge. It was quite the battle, but once Boco started going, the Diesel minis fell one by one.
Oh man, oh yuck, this is gross. I hate mud. We surrender, we surrender.
And with that, they concluded that Boco must be the world's strongest engine. Do you have any crazy competition ideas? We love hearing from you, so be sure to leave us a comment.